On today's episode of the Yaesu the Radio Show podcast, we mark the return from our wonderful vacation and bring you back a look at our new and redesigned Yaesu.com website. That's for today, Friday, July 18th, on the Yaesu the Radio Show podcast. And welcome, everybody, to the Yaesu the Radio Show podcast. I'm your host, John Crook. We have been on vacation, you can go ahead and say, since Hamvention, and man, it has been great. I consider it a vacation because we haven't had to do the podcast, and we've been doing some other fun stuff. But some people said it's not really been a vacation, John, because I have not had the chance to listen to the Yaesu the Radio Show podcast. And we were like, okay, cool. Well, you missed it. Let's bring it back. So we decided to bring it back, and we decided to talk about the subject today of one of probably the most integrated, probably most important things that people are wanting to know, and that is, John, the new Yaesu.com website. What's on there? Where's this at? What's going on? Can you give us a little information? So we thought today would be a great day to go ahead and talk about the new Yaesu.com website. Reintroduction of the website. I wouldn't call it reintroduction, but definitely a redesign. And we thought, what better way to talk about a redesign and talking about the return, for right now at least, of the Yaesu the Radio Show podcast. But first, before we jump into anything like that, people are going to always ask, and we get these questions all the time, John, you're going to talk about the great Yaesu products and stuff like that. How can we get information? How can we get service? How can what about Yaesu? Anything across the board. Well, guess what? Go on over to what we're going to talk about today, which is our Yaesu.com website. That's correct. The Yaesu.com website is where you're going to be able to find all information. And not just about Yaesu USA. You're going to be able to go over there and find out Yaesu UK, Yaesu Asia Oceania, Yaesu Japan, all around the world with Yaesu.com. That's right. Everything's going to be there for Yaesu.com. You're going to be able to navigate and traverse these things, find out what products are offered or what are the features of certain models in, let's say, the North America market versus the European market versus the Japan market. It's all there. It's all there. And that's what we're going to go ahead and talk about today. Prior to jumping into it, though, let's talk about this. We like to hear viewer feedback. Everybody comes to us at the shows and says, hey, John, I like the podcast. I like this information. But, man, could you do a little more training on this? Could you do some information on that? And what we tell people, and especially we hear it on social media, is like, guys, it's great that you're voicing it here, but send us a line. Drop us a line. Let us know. Use the Contact Us page at Yaesu.com to give us ideas about shows. Now, we've had a lot of great ideas sometimes, but we've been unable to do them. And the reason being is because it's more of a training than more so of a show topic or a podcast type topic. But that doesn't mean that you should not go ahead and drop us a line at Yaesu.com. Go to the Contact Us, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, to be able to go ahead and submit those great ideas, to say what it is. And we do have education coming up. It's been, well, I said it was kind of like a vacation. It really wasn't a vacation. We've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, in the studios, kind of what are we going to go ahead and do, get that education out there. And we got education coming up on the FTM 500, or excuse me, 510, not the 500, but the 510 with the ASP board. The FTM 150, the FT 3185, the FT 3165. We have repeater education. We have IMRS education. We have Wires X education. So many people have questions about Wires X. And guess what? That education is going to be coming on down the line. And that is actually not going to be necessarily a podcast show. That's going to be more of a time to set for education that you're going to be able to come in and you're going to be able to do it. Plus, we also still have some events left over through the year here that we're going to be doing, such as like Huntsville is going to be coming up. And we have a couple of different other shows that are going to be coming up pretty quick here, special events, that kind of thing like that. We just got back, as a matter of fact, from going and doing some one-on-one education and training with some great groups through Indiana, through Illinois, some online presentations and actually work groups with groups in Nevada, Arizona, as well as down by the Carolinas. All these people are saying, hey, we want this education. Some have had it and set it up that we did it actually like over a lunchtime where it was really kind of a cool thing because they brought it in. They had lunch. A lot of people, like, it was great. They were like, I took a little bit of an extra lunch today from work, but I heard about Yaesu education stuff. We've helped people with repeaters. So we have it all for you. Don't bother going out and searching the internet for other things, for searching other sources that are not the official source, that may just be an opinion. Feel free to come to us to gain that education on there. Don't take opinion where you can get fact from us, and that is through us at Yaesu here. So without further ado, let us hop right on into the website. And one of the biggest things about the website you're going to see is a different look, is a different design, and rightfully so. It's a new website, it's a new design on there. But one of the things that a lot of people said about Yaesu.com is like, we know you do amateur, we know you do aviation, we know you do marine. Let's go ahead and let's work on it together. And therefore, right away, when you go to Yaesu.com, you're going to go ahead and be presented with this great display of what you want to do. And what you want to do is where you want to go. Do you want to go and look at amateur radio products? Do you want to look at our aviation radios? Do you want to look at our marine radios on there? But right away, we designed it to make sure that it's a lot easier for you to navigate. Now, I know some people said, well, the other way was easier to navigate. Yeah. Website design, let's face it, is subjective versus objective. But in this case, we wanted to make it more simple and easy for people to do. So if you're looking for amateur radio, all you simply do is just click on the amateur radio. Want to do aviation only? Want to do marine only? Look at our great product lines outside of amateur. Now you have that easy resource on there. Along the top of the screen, you're going to see here is that there is our About section, our Product section, our Owner's Corner, Contact Us, Find a Dealer, job opportunities we may have at Yaesu.com, or excuse me, at Yaesu that you can look at through Yaesu.com, repair status, and then we also have a great thing about promotions. That's probably one of the biggest things that people actually tend to ask about the most is John, what are your current promotions? What's going on? What are the dealers offering? Some dealers may say, hey, we're offering this, but take a look at what we're offering directly from Yaesu through our dealers, and then see what else the dealers are going ahead and giving you for that extra great advantage to get the Yaesu products. One of the things I'm first going to jump out on there right away is that when you're looking at the Yaesu.com website, go under products, you're going to see a listing of what is really kind of getting more granular in that product line. So that's going to be the big thing on there. Because once again, along the top on the Yaesu.com website, look at products, and then you're going to see categories for HF transceivers, amplifiers, VHF, UHF handhelds, VHF, UHF mobiles, repeaters, microphones, rotators, and then Wires X. A lot of people said, hey, where's Wires X gone? Are you getting rid of Wires X? I've heard that rumor a lot over the past couple of months. Well, you guys are getting rid of Wires X. And we're like, no, we are not. We are not. Other YouTubers that have said it, hopefully you're watching this YouTube, listening to this podcast, we are not getting rid of Wires X. We are not. Okay? Some AI thing, I guess, generated it. And this is a good time to clear up these kind of myths about it. And our old technology called Wires 2, which if you've heard me give a presentation, that was before Wires X. Wires X blends. That's why it's an X. It crosses digital and analog. It does just digital, does just analog, or crosses the two together. It is not going away anywhere. We are not canceling Wires X. It has not been canceled. Like, once again, AI and some other social media lists, we'll call them, have gone ahead and said. So Wires X is there. If you want that information, once again, go under products, and all the way at the bottom there, you're going to see Wires X, or Wires Internet Linking. Okay, it's the Wires X technology that we know and we love, and it's once again still going strong, and always evolution of the technology is always happening and taking place. We are releasing different versions of the software when new radios came out to improve, to enhance it. So it is live and well. But let's jump in, since this podcast is kind of aimed towards the amateur side. We're going to jump in and look at our amateur product line. And right away, big different design, lots of different things on there. And it's kind of, once again, categorized at how it was underneath the products. So therefore, you can go to HF transceivers, amplifiers. You can look at our VHF, UHF handheld line, which, by the way, is encompassing of all the different modes. Not just fusion or digital handhelds versus analog handhelds. No, you can go in there and you can take a look at all of them on there. And then you have the VHF, UHF mobile line. You have our great repeater line, which is a DR2X. You have rotators. And then this is kind of the add-on to the system, which I think is really important and really vital for some people, which is once you've clicked on an amateur, guess what? In that bottom right corner, you're going to see this great area here marked Legacy Products. And I'm going to cover that in a minute once we get over to the other current line stuff on there. So once again, you click into our HF transceivers and amplifiers, you're going to see all the great different models on there. You're going to see the FTX1 that was released, but more importantly, our great hybrid SDR line of the FTDX101, the FTDX10, the FT710, which uses SDR, and then a great DSP technology. Our classic and tried and true FT991 and our FT891 HF mobile radio on there for you. Now we're going to go back here a page on there, and then we can jump into our VHF, UHF handhelds. And I want to say something pretty important about this. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, you guys are all about digital. No, take a look at this. We have 6 handhelds currently on the market that we offer for usage on there. 2 of them are digital, but the rest are analog capable, and all of our handhelds are dual band, not stuck with just one band only. They are dual band. And as you see, we have the FT5D, we have the FT70D, we have the VX6, we have the FT60, we have the FT65, and the FT4X. Now, here's a great little thing we did. A lot of people are saying, how do I know the promotions? If you go there, you'll see there's a little kind of orange yellowish circle on that model picture there that lets you know that there is a great promotion being offered by Yaesu on that radio on there. So no more guessing, hey, is this radio on special, is this not? No, we have that little promotion on there. Now let's take a look at our VHF, UHF mobile lines on there. We have the FTM510D in the ASP and non-ASP models, the FT3185 in the ASP and non-ASP models. We have the FTM150 in the ASP and non-ASP models, and then we have the FT3165, which is in the ASP and non-ASP models. Why is that important? Why are we duplicating those? Because the ASP is an option with these radios. You don't have to have it in there. Some people are like, what is ASP and stuff? And we got that coming up in another episode, as well as some upcoming training on there, which is going to really be great on it. So I suggest staying tuned for those upcoming episodes on there. But right now you have those different models on there. And if you take a look, we have a wide variety of the models on there. Now, the FTM 510 and the FTM 150 are the 2 only current production models that are VHF and UHF. The 3185 and the 3165 are both VHF band only. But I want to let you know, a lot of people are like, well, do you have a smaller, more compact dual band? Hey, whatever happened to ones that are like single display? No, the reason we have these with the FTM 150 and the FTM 510 is largely based on the fact that they are dual band, dual receive, simultaneous receive. So if you're looking for a satellite capable rig that's going to give you full duplex VHF to UHF, check out the FTM 510, check out the FTM 150. Those are going to be the radios that are on there that can receive on UHF while transmitting on VHF or vice versa, and they offer cross-band repeating technology. That's right, these are little cross-band radios on there which work out really well. One thing I'm going to tell you about is cross-band capability on the FTM 510 for digital to digital is not capable. It's not possible of that. That is related and due to our fusion protocol where a repeater does not repeat a repeater. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind on there. We can go into our great repeater. You want to find out more information about our DR2X repeater and the promotion that's currently on with them, you can go there. Take a look at our great rotator option line on there. Lots of great rotators. And here's the interesting part about our rotator line on there is that we are offering 5 different models. And let me tell you something about this. All these 5 different models are loaded for bear. And what I mean by loaded for bear is they are some heavy duty, amazing rotators. But we talked about satellites. You into satellites, take a look at that G55 100 DC. So the G5500 DC, that is going to be great for your satellite beam operations on there to rotate left and right and kind of tilt, angle up and everything like that on there. All of our other rotators used a lot throughout the world for going ahead and being able to rotate those heavy-duty antennas. And here's the interesting part, not just for these HFers. I've known, and I've talked to a couple people recently, that they are heavy into VHF. They won't even touch anything below 6 meters. They're like 10 meters in HF, forget it. VHF is where it's at. They have more fun with VHF doing 6 meters, 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and just all that kind of fun on there. And they use our rotators exclusively, especially during field day. They had quite a great amount of time on there. Now, let's talk about the legacy product section. A lot of people have said for the longest time, what rotators are there? What rotators are not on there? What HF transceivers is this? I want more information. And that's where it's going to come into our legacy product. Now, the great part about our legacy section on our website now is that if the information is not in this legacy section, we don't have it. So right now, if you're saying, hey, I want to find out information about the FT3, you can go in to the amateur radio section on there, go to legacy products and click on FT3, and you're going to see what information we have on there. But more importantly, go underneath that files tab, because a lot of people are like, where can I get the firmware updates? I don't know if my last radio is firmware. Where can I get the different brochures? Where can I get the manuals? Go to that legacy product section, click on it, and then click on files, and then you're going to see every single thing on there, including any of the last versions of the software for that radio that we may offer, and any sort of firmwares or the last and latest and greatest firmwares for those radios. Now, this just isn't, let me back it up here. This just isn't legacy products. This is actually all of our products. So whether you're looking at new HF radios, whether you're looking at new VHF, UHF mobiles, whether you're looking at new VHF, UHF handhelds, you go to that landing page, as we call it, of that model, and then click on files, and then any and everything we have on files for it. So once again, manuals, software, firmware update. If, in this case, I mentioned the FT3, well, the FT3 was capable of doing a Wires X node in the PDN operation. Guess what? Your Wires X software is underneath that Files tab there. So no need to worry, because we get a lot of calls. We're like, hey, do you have the manual for the FT3 on there? Well, do you want to download one or do you want to buy one? If you want to buy a paper copy one, we're gonna have to charge you. But if you don't, and you're okay with using it like in a PDF reader, or like on an iPad or a tablet or a computer, whatever, go to the Files tab, and people are like, oh yeah, hey, there's the instruction manual. The instruction manual for basic operation, advanced operation, Wires X, APRS, GM. Yeah, a separate manual for GM group monitor, which, by the way, is pretty cool for the digital world if you haven't played with it. Those manuals are all there for all the radios underneath the file tab. And once again, if you take a look at it, these are some like old school radios that people have on there. I mean, we're talking on the HF line here, just to read some of them. The FTDX 1200, 3000, 5000, 1000, 2000, 450, 600, 817, 818, 847. It goes on and on. That's just HF alone. Now, talking about our handhelds, I just had a person recently saying, hey, do you have a collection of where I can get information on all these old handhelds? Well, we don't have a brochure. We don't have a catalog or anything, but you can come to our Yaesu.com website, go under that legacy products underneath amateur, and you're going to find all the history of these radios. And I mean, some of the history on there, I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't really think about that, on there. Once again, not a complete listing, because some people have said like, well, there was this model that I had that wasn't on there, like the FT416. Yeah, we probably didn't have information on there, but information that we do have is available on here. And as a matter of fact, more of the information is probably going to be found online here than what we can go ahead and offer or sell you. So for an example, we do have the operating manual for the FT470. All right, great radio. Some people say, yeah, I have this and this and this. Guess what? That's the only thing we have. Some people may say, well, do you have schematics or detail books or this or this or this or whatever based on what model? If it is now underneath the legacy product section, guess what? It's not going to go ahead and be available from us. Now, also we want to stress under this legacy tab, not all of the radios that are listed here are supported by Yaesu, meaning some people have asked and said, well, John, I see under your legacy product, I see the, a good example is the FTM 10 is offered on there. Do you guys still repair and take care of the FTM 10? Unfortunately, no, we do not support that model. However, models like the FTM 400D or XD, do you support that one? Yes, we still support that one for repair. But That leads us into that other question: how can I contact Yaesu? Is there an easy way to do that? And yes, go along the top of the web page and click on that Contact Us page. Now, here's the deal. When that Contact Us page comes up, you're going to be able to enter information that we need. We need this information, folks. If you're going to contact us, want us to call you back. We need a first name. We need a last name. We need an email address. And that email address is so important because that's how we're going to reply back to you, or some people like to be replied back to. We'd like to know your city, your state, your zip code, where you're coming from, because that helps us a lot, like answer some of those questions of what it might be. So a lot of people will come here and submit information from outside of the U.S. or North America. They may submit it from England or Germany or wherever. And in that case, we need to know that information so we can route you to the correct Yaesu regional office. We'd like your telephone number, because guess what? Sometimes I will answer some of these emails on there, and there's been some times where I'm like, oh, this is going to ask a lot of questions, have to answer a lot of stuff on there. It's probably going to be easier to go ahead and call you on there, and that's why we ask for that number. And then under that inquiry type, that's going to be the biggest thing on there. Is it a general question? Like, is it, will Yaesu be going to any sort of event in the upcoming future? Or maybe there's part support. Hey, I have a question about a specific part. Click on part support. Repair status. Hey, I want to know what's going on with this certain radio. Is it done being repaired? How soon until I can get it back? Sales support. You have an exact question, a specific question of like, hey, can you tell me some of the features on this radio? Is this radio still available? Is it on sale? Those kind of things. That's going to be under sales support. And then finally, technical support. And technical support is going to put you in touch with one of our tech support staff, and then you can answer and ask some of those questions on there. Once again, you can see from all these different varieties on there that there's a strong possibility we may need to give you a telephone call, so that's why we asked for the number. And I want to assure you, Yaesu does not take and sell this information, farm out this information, or anything like that whatsoever. We take this information, we only use it for contacting you, and we do not do anything else with that information on there. Then, put that inquiry. Get as specific as you want to in an inquiry. That really helps us also to kind of drill down and make sure. There are some times where it's you list sales support, but man, it's a certain question, and man, that's more of a technical support thing or something. We may have to move it to that department. So get as granular as you can on there. And then finally, we do have that validation on there, so you're not a spam, you're not a bot. That helps reduce a lot of things on there. The final thing I'm going to tell you is, don't go ahead and shotgun blast these things. I know we get a lot of people that want answers, and they'll go ahead and put the same question in all the different categories just so that, hey, their answer can be made on there. And then what happens, that delays things, because if we reply to your message on there and it's a sales question, but you sent it to general and you sent it to tech support and you sent it to parts and everything like that on there, what's going to end up happening is now we got to route it back and we be like, did we answer this question? Did we not? Those kind of things. So make sure you do the proper selection and go on there. It's great on there right now for contacting us. We usually try to answer everything that we can within 2 business days on there, 1 to 2 business days depending, usually sooner than that. Some stuff does go to spam basically on there. If we have that happen, sometimes a goofy email address or something like that on there, but always go ahead and reach us on the Contact Us page. That is the best part on there. Now, the Owner's Corner. The Owner's Corner is really great. It does go ahead and allows us to give you some information on there. So you basically going to sign up for a free account when you create an Owner's Corner on there. So you're going to put your first name, last name, email address, confirmation email address. Please confirm that heavily. Your call sign is optional. We do realize that some people are using aviation product that they're registering, or marine product that they don't have an actual call sign. Make sure you choose your postal zip code and a username. Once you've created that information, then we send you out the password on there, and then you can enter your stuff into the Owner's Corner to help keep track of those kind of things in there. There are also some checkbox on there. Would you like to be known about future special promotions or offers? Would you like to be known about product updates? This will help you if you're saying, hey, is there a new version of the software out? Is a new firmware out? Some sort of information like that on there. However, let's talk about warranty. And one quick thing we'll touch on warranty is that a lot of people say, well, I registered your product, that should cover the warranty. Actually, it does not. If you are looking for, in the North America market, warranty registration validation, we tell everybody, hold on to your receipts. We do offer, as in Yaesu does offer, a 3-year warranty on the purchase of new, you can stress, new Yaesu products from authorized Yaesu dealers. Authorized Yaesu dealers. Can't be someone that there's a lot of dealers out there that try to resell Yaesu equipment, that buy it and resell it, or they go ahead and they try to sell it as, they're a preferred dealer, whatever. No, we only have authorized Yaesu dealers, and if you're buying it new from them, and once again, new in the box, not a return or anything like that, but new in a box, then you get that 3-year warranty on there. However, we do need some information to validate this warranty claim, and that's going to be obviously a receipt showing the date that you purchased the equipment from the authorized Yaesu dealer. It needs to show that you are the original purchaser, so your name is on the receipt, and it needs to go ahead and show the model and serial number of that device. Now, there are some times where we do need to validate it. There are other times that we, can say, okay, yes, we're concurrent on it, that kind of thing like that. But if there ever is a warranty question, hold on to that receipt. And I tell people, take that receipt, scan it in there, whatever, however you want to keep track of it. We just need to see some proof of purchase on there from the authorized Yaesu dealer. Now, I stressed authorized Yaesu dealer a lot because I see so many people lately buying stuff offline and going on eBay or Amazon or something, and they're buying these quote-unquote Yaesu radios, and I did air quotes on as Yaesu radios because they are Yaesu radios, but they're not Yaesu radios from the market that you live in. And we've had some people, unfortunately, in the North America market that have bought a radio. Turns out it's Japan region radio. Now, Japan has a completely different frequency band coverage than what we do, and their licensure is different than ours in North America. And some people are buying an HF radio, and they're saying it doesn't transmit on all the full US bands, and it's only 10 watts or 50 watts, not 100 watts. What gives? Well, then we go ahead and find out that it is from a different region. Now, therefore, guess what? That creates problems for you as the buyer, because now you can't use that radio, and now you're thinking, why is this radio the way it is? Is this a Yaesu product issue? What's going on with Yaesu? Well, it's not. You got a radio for a different region. We cannot, and I want to stress this, cannot repair a radio that is not from our region. So if you're in the North America market and you buy a radio from Japan and, hey, it's not working, you try to send it us for repair, we'll see it's from Japan and we'll say, hey, we can't repair non-North America market radios here. You have to send it back to Yaesu Japan. So kind of keep that in your mind on there when purchasing. Sometimes a great deal is not really that great of a deal. Now, when I said, once again, talking about the warranty, talking about, knowing to buy, knowing you're getting official Yaesu product at the best cost on there, that's where it's going to come into Find a Dealer. And that along the top bars, you click on that for Find a Dealer, and you're going to pop up with all the different dealers that are in the different states on there. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of dealers that are through the different area there, covering Canada, covering the entire United States. So it's kind of broken down per the states on there, and you'll see that some areas have more radios or more and more states. So for example, Ohio has DX Engineering and R&L Electronics, okay? But just because you don't see your state does not mean that you can't order from one of our great, amazing dealers. That's right. Call them up. A lot of dealers, I think every dealer, will go ahead and easily ship from wherever they need to go, and you can just see that the list is huge on there, and we just about have a dealer in just about every single state on there, or if not, there's a dealer right at that state border or so close to that adjoining state on there. So don't be afraid to call these authorized dealers up. If they are authorized dealers, they're going to be on here. If they're saying, I'm an authorized Yaesu dealer, come to that Find a Dealer page for North America, and you're like, hey, my name isn't, your business name isn't on there as a dealer. Oh, well, that must be some mistake. No. This is the actual listing of our authorized dealers. So make sure you hit them up to get those great Yaesu products and services. Well, you know what? For our first episode back, I think that was enough. Kind of gave you a deep run through of the website. I think you should easily be able to go forth from this, and hopefully this answers some of their question. We are returning back, like I said, to the podcast. However, Couple things on there. We always saying, people saying, hey, I like the Friday podcast. I like it launched at noon. We want to hear from you. We want to hear once again from what do you want to see in the podcast? When is a good time to release the podcast for you? We know sometimes we moved around. We used to do Monday. We used to do Wednesday. Now we kind of do Friday. But we want to hear from you when a good time is to release the podcast. So definitely send us an email through the Yaesu.com website under contact us under general questions, or you can email us, or me directly, I should say, at j.kruk@yaesu.com. Once again, that's j.kruk@yaesu.com. Or go ahead and check on our social media sites on there. We will be posting a poll to find out and get some information on when you think the best time for our podcast is, as well as feel free to go ahead and submit some suggestions on ideas. Once again, not all ideas can be done. We hope you understand that on there and enjoy it. Until then, everybody, I want everybody to take care, and we'll catch you on down the log.